Leo Bennett's popcorn hit the floor when the guard grabbed his arm. The lights of the old Riverside cinema glowed soft and gold above him. It was opening night. The room was full. Every seat was taken. People whispered with excitement. Leo had waited 3 months for this movie. He had saved every dollar from his job at the store. Now, in front of everyone, a security guard pulled him toward the exit. His heart pounded hard in his chest. His face turned red with shame. He did nothing wrong. At least, that is what you would think. But something happened just minutes before. Something no one else saw clearly. Something that would change how everyone looked at Leo that night. Was he a troublemaker? Or was he something else entirely? The truth was far more surprising than anyone expected. What really happened inside that dark theater? Why did a quiet, kind young man suddenly get thrown out in front of a crowd? Keep watching. The answer will surprise you. Leo Bennett was 18 years old. He worked nights at a small grocery store in town. Every dollar he earned, he saved for one thing: movie tickets. Leo dreamed of becoming a filmmaker one day. He wanted to tell stories that made people feel something real. The Riverside cinema was old but beautiful. Red curtains hung beside the big screen. The smell of fresh popcorn filled the air. Soft music played before every show. Leo loved this place more than anywhere else in the world. His best friend, Jack Sullivan, sat beside him that night. Jack was loud and funny. He loved jokes more than serious talk. Where Leo was quiet and careful, Jack was wild and free. They had been friends since childhood, and they balanced each other well. Leo had a secret memory tied to this cinema. Every Friday night, his father used to bring him here. They watched movies together, laughing, sharing popcorn, dreaming out loud. Then his father moved away for work, far across the country. The visits stopped. The Friday nights ended. Now, coming to the cinema alone felt like holding on to a small piece of his father, even from far away. As the lights dimmed, Leo noticed something strange nearby. A man in the row behind them was arguing quietly with a young woman. His voice grew sharper. His hand gripped her wrist a little too tightly. The woman looked scared. She looked around, as if searching for help. Leo felt his stomach tighten. Something was wrong here. Very wrong. He glanced at Jack, who was busy laughing at the trailer on screen, completely unaware. Leo's eyes moved back to the woman. She caught his gaze for 1 second. Her eyes begged him silently. The movie was about to start, but Leo could not look away. Something was about to happen, and Leo knew, deep in his heart, that he could not simply sit and watch. The movie began, but Leo could not focus on the screen. The man behind him kept whispering angry words to the woman. Her voice trembled as she asked him to stop. Leo turned around slowly. "Excuse me," he said quietly. "Is everything okay?" The man glared at him. "Mind your own business," he snapped. The woman's eyes filled with tears. She shook her head slightly, silently asking Leo not to leave. Leo's heart raced. He could stay quiet and watch the movie, or he could stand up for a stranger who needed help. He chose to stand up. "She doesn't look okay to me," Leo said, his voice steady despite his fear. The man stood up fast, his chair scraping loudly against the floor. People nearby turned to look. Jack grabbed Leo's arm. "Dude, sit down," he whispered nervously. But Leo did not sit down. The man pushed Leo hard, and Leo stumbled backward into another row of seats. Gasps filled the theater. Someone shouted for security. Within seconds, a security guard appeared, flashlight in hand, but the man had already returned to his seat, calm and smiling, as if nothing happened. The woman stayed silent, too frightened to speak. The guard looked at Leo, who was still catching his breath near the fallen seats. "You caused this disturbance?" the guard asked firmly. "No, I was trying to help," Leo began. "Sir, please come with me," the guard interrupted. "You are not going to believe what happened next." The woman, still shaking, looked away instead of speaking up. Fear kept her silent. Leo understood immediately. If he argued louder, if he pointed at the man, it might only put her in more danger later. He had a choice to make. Right there, in seconds. He chose to protect her silence, even if it cost him everything. "Sir, I need you to leave the building," the guard repeated, his hand now firm on Leo's shoulder. Jack stood up quickly. "Wait, this isn't fair. He didn't start anything." "House rules," the guard said flatly. "Any disturbance means removal. No exceptions." Leo's mind raced. Explaining everything might reveal the woman's fear to the whole room. It might make things worse for her later, outside these walls, away from witnesses. He decided, in that moment, silence was the only way to keep her safe. The manager arrived, tall and serious, listening briefly to the guard's report. He glanced at Leo, then at the man who now looked completely calm, sitting comfortably in his seat. "Let's not make a scene," the manager said. "Sir, please walk with us." The entire theater watched. Whispers spread through the crowd like fire. Leo felt every eye burning into him. His cheeks flushed red with humiliation. This was supposed to be his special night, the one movie he had saved for so carefully. Instead, in front of strangers, in front of Jack, in front of everyone who mattered, Leo Bennett was being thrown out like a criminal. The guard's grip tightened around his arm. The theater doors opened. Cold night air rushed toward him. And just like that, Leo stepped outside, alone, confused, and completely humiliated. With no one left to explain the truth to, Leo stood outside in the cold, staring at the glowing cinema sign above him. His hands were shaking, not from the cold, but from everything that had just happened. He had done nothing wrong, yet here he was, banned from the one place that held his happiest memories. Minutes later, the theater doors burst open again. It was the woman from inside, running toward him, tears streaming down her face. "Wait!" she called out. "Please, wait!" Leo turned, surprised. "I'm so sorry," she said, breathless. "You didn't deserve this. I was scared, but I can't stay silent anymore." She walked straight to the manager, who had followed her outside. In front of Jack, in front of the growing small crowd, she explained everything. She spoke about the man's aggressive words, his tight grip on her wrist, and how Leo had only tried to help her. The manager's expression changed instantly. He turned toward the security office and asked for the camera footage to be checked. Immediately. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, the manager returned, his face full of regret. "I owe you an apology," he said to Leo. "The footage shows everything. You protected her. We were wrong to remove you." Leo felt something shift inside him. For weeks, he had only dreamed of watching this movie. Now, he realized something far more important. Doing the right thing mattered more than any movie ticket ever could. Jack placed a hand on Leo's shoulder, his usual jokes replaced with quiet pride. "You did good tonight," he said softly. "Real good." The woman wiped her tears and smiled at Leo. "Thank you for seeing me," she whispered. "Really seeing me." Her words touched something deep inside Leo. He thought about his father again, about all those Friday nights when someone truly saw him too, listened to him, cared about his small dreams. Maybe kindness was the thread connecting every memory that mattered. The manager offered Leo free tickets for any future movie, but Leo shook his head gently. "You don't have to do that," Leo said. "I just wanted her to be safe." The manager smiled, clearly moved. "That's exactly why you deserve them." As Leo walked back inside with Jack, laughter slowly returning between them, he felt lighter than before. The humiliation from earlier had transformed into quiet strength. He was no longer just a boy chasing movie dreams. He had become someone who stood firm when it truly mattered. But the story does not end here. Weeks later, Leo received a letter in the mail. It was from his father, the same father who once shared Friday nights with him at this very cinema. His father had heard about what happened through an old family friend connected to the theater. The letter simply said, "I always knew you had a good heart. I'm proud of you, son." Leo read those words again and again, feeling tears sting his eyes. Distance had separated them for years, but this one small moment brought them closer than ever before. Sometimes, standing up for someone else quietly brings back the people we thought we had lost. Leo still visits Riverside Cinema every Friday night now, sometimes with Jack, sometimes alone, but he never feels alone anymore. Because somewhere, across the country, his father watches movies too, thinking of him. And Leo often wonders, if he had stayed silent that night, would that letter have ever arrived at all? Popcorn once fell to the floor that night, marking the start of Leo's hardest moment. But it also marked the beginning of something beautiful, something unexpected, something worth every second of fear he felt. Have you ever had to choose between staying safe and doing what's right? Sometimes, the bravest moments in life happen quietly, without applause, without anyone even noticing at first. Leo's story reminds us that kindness often costs something, but it always gives back more than we expect. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe for more real-life stories told in slow English. Every week, we share new stories that help you practice your English while feeling something real. Tell me in the comments, Have you ever stood up for a stranger, even when it felt risky? I would love to hear your story. Next time, we'll share a story about trust and how one small lie can change two lives forever. You won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself and take care of others too. See you in the next story.